Shalom, this is Read the Bible in a Year, and we are in 1 Kings chapters 12. We're reading chapters 12 through 15. It's going to be a little bit of a longer reading, but it seems like they've all been a little bit of a longer reading now. So let's get to it. Page 364 roundabout if you're following along in the scriptures. Chapter 12. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone to Shechem to set him up to reign. And it came to be, when Jeroboam, son of Nebat, heard this, that he was still in Mitzrayim, for he had fled from the presence of the sovereign Shalomo, and had been dwelling in Mitzrayim. And they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the assembly of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke hard, and now lighten the hard service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put on us, then we serve you. And he said to them, Go away for 3 days, and come back to me. And the people went. Then sovereign Rehoboam consulted the elders who stood before his father Solomon while he still lived, and he said, What do you advise me to answer these people? And they spoke to him, saying, If you are a servant to these people today, and shall serve them, and shall answer them, and speak good words to them, then they shall be your servants all the days. But he ignored the advice the elders gave him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him, who stood before him. He said to them, What advice do you give? How should we answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, Lighten the yoke which your father put on us? And the young men who had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, Say to this people who have spoken to you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, but you make it lighter on us. Say this to them, My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. And now my father laid a heavy yoke on you, but I add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I flog you with scourges. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the sovereign had spoken, saying, Come back to me the 3rd day. And the sovereign answered the people harshly, and ignored the advice which the elders had given him. And he spoke to them according to the advice of the young men, saying, My father made a yoke heavy, but I add to your yoke, and my father flogged you with whips, and I flog you with scourges. So the sovereign did not listen to the people, for the turn of events was from Yahweh, in order to establish his word which Yahweh had spoken to Ahiah the Shilonite, to Jeroboam son of Nebat. And all Israel saw that the sovereign did not listen to them, and the people answered the sovereign, saying, What portion do we have in David? And there is no inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your mighty ones, O Israel, now see to your own house, O David. So Israel went to their tents. But as for the children of Israel who dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. And when sovereign Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the compulsory labor, all Israel stoned him with stones, and he died. And the sovereign Rehoboam hastily mounted his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. Thus Israel revolted against the house of David to this day. And it came to be, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam had come back, they sent for him and called him to the congregation, and set him up to reign over all Israel. There was none who followed the house of David except the tribe of Judah only. And Rehoboam came to Jerusalem, and he assembled all the house of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen brave men, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring back the reign of Rehoboam son of Solomon. But the word of Elohim came to Shemaiah, the son of the man of Elohim, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, son of Solomon, sovereign of Judah, and to all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, Thus said Yahweh, do not go up or fight against your brothers, or do not go up or fight against your brothers, the children of Israel. Let every man return to his house, for this matter is from me. So they obeyed the word of Yahweh and turned back according to the word of Yahweh. And Jeroboam built Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim, and dwelt there. And he went out from there and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, Now the reign shall return to the house of David, if these people go up to do slaughterings in the house of Yahweh at Jerusalem. Then the heart of this people shall turn back to their master, Rehoboam, sovereign of Judah, and they shall kill me and go back to Rehoboam, sovereign of Judah. So the sovereign took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said to the people, It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. See your mighty ones, O Israel, which brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim. And he set up one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. And this matter, well, okay. Not sure what happened here. That was strange. My gimbal just... Anyways. No surprise here. Chapter 12, verse 30. After he sets up 2 calves of gold, this matter became a sin, for the people went before one as far as Dan. And he made the house of high places and made priests of all sorts of the people who were not sons of Levi. And Jeroboam performed a festival on the 15th day of the 8th new moon, like the festival that was in Judah, and he offered on the slaughter place. So he did at Bethel, slaughtering to the calves that he made. And at Bethel he appointed the priests of the high places which he made, and he made offerings on the slaughter place which he had made at Bethel on the 15th day on the 8th new moon, and the new moon which he had devised in his own heart. And he performed a festival for the children of Israel, and offered on the slaughter place, and burned incense. See, Sukkot's supposed to be in the 7th new moon, the 7th month, on the 15th day. He devised in his own heart to even change the Moedim of the Most High. Yeah, this guy is no good. First sip of coffee for the morning. Shalom. Oh, ooh, that's good. Moose Run for the win. Oh, I think that's like his cottage blend or something, but it is so good. Anyways, I'm tired, but we're moving on. That was chapter 12. Let's hit 13 now. And see, a man of Elohim went from Judah to Bethel by the word of Yahweh, while Jeroboam was standing by the slaughter place to burn incense. And he cried out against the slaughter place by the word of Yahweh, and said, O slaughter place, slaughter place. Thus said Yahweh, see, a son is to be born to the house of David. Yoshiyahu is his name. And on you he shall slaughter the priests of the high places, who burn incense on you, and men's bones be burned on you. And he gave the sign the same day, saying, "This is the sign which Yahweh has spoken. See, the slaughter place is split apart, and the ashes on it is poured out." And it came to be, when sovereign Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of Elohim, who cried out against the slaughter place in Bethel, that he stretched out his hand from the slaughter place, saying, "Seize him." Then his hand, which stretched out toward him, dried up, so that it was unable to bring it back to him. And the slaughter place, the heck, he did it again. All right. I think my phone is not balanced. Yeah, there's too much weight. Balance it out. Balance it, baby, now. There it is. Had too much weight hanging on that end. Not exactly centered on the phone, so stay. Where were we? Boom, heard. Oh yeah, his hand shriveled up. Verse 5, chapter 13, verse 5. And the slaughter place was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the slaughter place according to their sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yahweh. And the sovereign answered and said to the man of Elohim, "Please appease the face of Yahweh your Elohim, and pray for me, that my hand might be restored to me." And the man of Elohim appeased the face of Yahweh, and the sovereign's hand was restored to him. What boldness, what faith. That's incredible. Where is that today? Sorry. The sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, "Come home with me and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift." But the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, "If you were to give me half your house, I do not go with you, nor do I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so he commanded me by the word of Yahweh, saying, Do not eat bread, nor drink water, nor return to this by the same way you came." So he went another way, and did not return by the way he came to Bethel. And a certain old prophet was dwelling in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel, and the words which he had spoken to the sovereign. And their father had said to them, "Which way did he go?" And his sons had seen which way the man had went, who came from Judah. Goodness gracious. Verse 13, and he said to his son, "Saddle the donkey for me." And they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it, and went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under a terebinth tree. And he said to him, "Are you the man of Elohim who came from Judah?" And he said, "I am." And he said to him, "Come home with me and eat bread." And he said, "I am not able to return with you or go in with you, nor am I to eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For word came to me by the word of Yahweh, do not eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by going the way you came." And he said to him, "I too am a prophet like you. And the messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, Bring him back with you to your house, and let him eat bread and drink water." But he lied to him. So he turned back with them, and ate bread in the house, and drank water. And it came to be, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahweh came back to the prophet who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of Elohim who came from Judah, saying, Thus said Yahweh, because you have rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh, who have not guarded the command which Yahweh your Elohim commanded you, and turned back and ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, Do not eat bread nor drink water, your body shall not enter the burial site of your fathers. And it came to be, after he had eaten the bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled the donkey for him, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And he went, and a lion met him on the way and killed him. And his body was thrown on the way, and the donkey was standing by it, and the lion was standing by the body. And see, men were passing by and saw the body thrown on the way while the lion was standing by the body. And they went and reported it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. And the prophet who had brought him back from the way heard it, and said, It is the man of Elohim who rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh. And Yahweh gave him to the lion, and it tore him apart, and killed him according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke to him. And he spoke to his sons, saying, Saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled it. So he went and found his body thrown on the way, and the donkey and the lion standing by the body. And the lion had not eaten the body, nor mauled the donkey. And the prophet lifted up the body of the man of Elohim, and placed it on the donkey, and brought it back. There we go. There it is, in the middle of verse 29. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. And he placed his body in his own burial site, and they lamented over him, saying, O my brother. And it came to be, after he had buried him, that he spoke to his son, saying, When I am dead, you shall bury me in a burial site where the man of Elohim is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the word which is cried out by the word of Yahweh against the slaughter place of Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places which are in the cities of Shomeron, shall certainly come to be. After this event, Jeroboam did not turn from his evil way, but again he made priests of all sorts of people for the high places, whoever wished he ordained to become one of the priests of the high places. And this matter was a sin of the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and destroy it from the face of the earth. Chapter 14. At that time Abiah the son of Jeroboam became sick. And Jeroboam said to his wife, Please arise and disguise yourself, so they do not know that you are the wife of Jeroboam, and go to Shiloh. See, Abiah the prophet is there, who spoke to me of becoming the sovereign of this people. And you shall take with you 10 loaves and cakes, and a jar of honey, and go to him. Let him declare to you what becomes of the child. And Jeroboam's wife did so, and rose up and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Ahiah. But Ahiahu was unable to see, for his eyes had set because of his age. And Yahweh had said to Ahiahu, See, the wife of Jeroboam is coming to ask you a word about her son, for he is sick. Speak to her thus and thus, for it shall be when she comes in that she makes herself strange. And it came to be, when Ahiahu heard the sound of her footsteps as she came through the door, he said, Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why are you making yourself strange? And I have been sent to you with a hard word. Go say to Jeroboam, Thus said Yahweh Elohim of Israel, because I exalted you from among the people and made you ruler over my people Israel, and tore the reign away from the house of David and gave it to you, and you have not been my servant as my servant David, who guarded my commands, who followed with me with all his heart, to do only what was right in my eyes. But you have done more evil than all who were before you. For you have gone and made for yourself other mighty ones and molded images to provoke me, and have cast me behind your back. Therefore, see, I am bringing evil to the house of Jeroboam, and shall cut off from Jeroboam every male in Israel, whether shut up or left at large, and sweep away the remnant of the house of Rehoboam, as one sweeps away dung until it is all gone. Those of Jeroboam who die in the city, the dogs do eat. Those who die in the field, the birds of the heavens do eat. For Yahweh has spoken it. And you, arise, go to your house. When your feet enter the city, the child shall die. And all Israel shall mourn for him and bury him, for he is the only one of Jeroboam who shall come to the burial site, because in him there is found a good report toward Yahweh Elohim of Israel in the house of Jeroboam. And Yahweh shall raise up for himself a sovereign over Israel, who cuts off the house of Jeroboam this day and even now. And Yahweh shall strike Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and shall pluck Israel from this good soil which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they had made their Asherim provoking Yahweh. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who sinned, and who made Israel sin. And the wife of Jeroboam rose up and went and came to Tirzah. When she came to the threshold of the house, and the child died. And they buried him, and all Israel lamented for him according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke through his servant Ahiahu the prophet. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he fought and how he reigned, see, they are written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Israel. And the days that Jeroboam reigned was 22 years. So he slept with his fathers, and Nadab his son reigned in his place. Meanwhile, Rehoboam, son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he became sovereign, and reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Judah did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they committed, more than all that their fathers had done. For they also built for themselves high places and pillars and Asherim on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also cult prostitutes in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which Yahweh dispossessed before the children of Israel. And it came to be in the 5th year of the sovereign of Rehoboam that Shishak, sovereign of Mitzrayim, came up against Jerusalem. And he took away the treasures of the house of Yahweh and the treasures of the sovereign's house, and he even took away all. He took away all the shields of gold which Solomon had made. The sovereign Rehoboam made shields of bronze to replace them, and entrusted them into the hands of the chiefs of the guard, who guarded the entrance of the sovereign's house. And it came to be, whenever the sovereign went into the house of Yahweh, the guards would bring them, and then take them back to the guard room. And the rest of the acts of Rehoboam, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Judah? And there was fighting between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days. So Rehoboam slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the name of his mother was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Abiam, his son, reigned in his place. Chapter 15. And in the 18th year of sovereign Jeroboam's son of Nebat, Jeroboam, son of Nebat, Abiam, became sovereign over Judah. And he reigned 3 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Ma'akah, the granddaughter of Abishalom. And he walked in the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect to Yahweh, his Elohim, as was the heart of his father David. But for David's sake, Yahweh his Elohim gave him a lamp in Jerusalem to raise up his son after him by establishing Jerusalem. For David did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, and did not turn aside from all that he commanded him all the days of his life, except the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And there was fighting between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. And the rest of the acts of Abiam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Judah? And there was fighting between Abiam and Jeroboam. So Abiam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Asa, his son, reigned in his place. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, sovereign of Israel, Asa became sovereign over Judah. And he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem, and his grandmother's name was Ma'akah, the granddaughter of Abishalom. And Asa did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, and as his father David had done, and put away the cult prostitutes from the land, and removed all the idols that his father had made. And he also removed Ma'akah, his grandmother, from being sovereigness mother, because she had an abominable image for Asherah. And Asa cut down her abominable image and burned it by the Wadi Kidron. But the high places were not removed. However, Asa's heart was perfect before Yahweh all his days. And he brought into the house of Yahweh the set-apart items of the father, and his own set-apart items, silver and gold and utensils. And there was fighting between Asa and Baasha, sovereign of Israel, all their days. And Baasha, sovereign of Israel, came up against Judah and built Ramah to keep anyone from going out or coming into Asa, sovereign of Judah. And Asa took all the silver and gold that was left in the treasuries of the house of Yahweh and the treasuries of the sovereign's house, and gave them into the hand of his servants. And sovereign Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, son of Tabrimon, son of Hezion, sovereign of Aram, who dwelt in Damascus, saying, "Let there be a covenant between you and me, as there was between my father and your father. Look, I have sent you a present of silver and gold. Come, break your covenant with Baasha, sovereign of Israel, so that he withdraws from me." And Ben-Hadad listened to the sovereign of Asa, or listened to sovereign Asa, and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, and struck Iyom, and Dan, and Abel, Beth Ma'akah, and all Kinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. And it came to be, when Baasha heard it, that he stopped building Ramah, and remained in Tirzah. Then sovereign Asa summoned all Judah. None was exempted. And they took away the stones and the timber of Ramah, which Baasha had used for building, and with them sovereign Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mitzpah. And the rest of all the acts of Asa and and all his might, and all that he did, and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Judah? But in the time of his old age he was diseased in his feet. So Asa slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. That was my kid's alarm. I'm not ready for him to wake up. Almost done here. Verse 24. So Asa slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place. And Nadab, son of Jeroboam, became sovereign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, sovereign of Judah. And he reigned over Israel 2 years. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin by which he made Israel sin. Then Baasha, son of Ahiah, of the house of Issachar, conspired against him, and Baasha struck him at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, for Nadab and all Israel had laid siege to Gibbethon. And Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa, sovereign of Judah, and reigned in his place. And it came to be, when he became sovereign, that he struck all the house of Jeroboam. He did not leave to Jeroboam anyone breathing until he had destroyed him, according to the word of Yahweh which he had spoken by his servant Ahiah the Shilonite. Because of the sins of Jeroboam which he had sinned, and by which he had made Israel sin, because of his provocation with which he had provoked Yahweh Elohim of Israel. And the rest of the acts of Nadab, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Israel? And there was fighting between Asa and Baasha, sovereign of Israel, all their days. In the 3rd year of Asa, sovereign of Judah, Baasha, son of Ahiah, came sovereign over all Israel in Tirzah, and reigned 24 years. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin by which he made Israel sin. All right, that's it. Shalom.